today I'm here in front of you particularly for understanding, or make you understand the embryology of the male and the female reproductive system. Basically, it's the internal organ. But external genitalia, both for male and the female, will be dealt with next time. This is number one. Number two is, I'll just say a few words before I start drawing, and it's not difficult at all for you to understand it. I hope you could be able to see my drawing from a distance, it's not a problem. But if you cannot, don't worry, because my PowerPoints are basically depicting the same thing or telling the same information. First of all and the foremost, that you should understand that the reproductive system, just like any other system, starts towards the end of third or say fourth week. Around the beginning of the fourth week, you remember the GI system and other systems. Most of the systems are fourth week. But the third week we talk about when the cardiovascular system is there. So cardiovascular system is early, but the very first system is the nervous system that you know. Now the reproductive system is not functional. Obviously, you don't need to be functional to start with but at least it is there. By the end of 10 weeks, you can see ultrasound that the external genitalia is obvious and the ovary and the testes are there. So usually what happens, this is particularly true for this part of the world, that as soon as the female the lady is pregnant, the parents, they want to know male or the female immediately. They say that, well, I'm having a boy or a girl. Now, you should not do the ultrasound in the week 4 or week 5 or the week 6 or week 7, because still the external genitalia is not very obvious. You understand? It takes almost 10 weeks to produce, to have a little bit of external genitalia feature. The vagina or the scrotum or the penile part is obvious towards the end of 11 weeks or 10 weeks, around 10 to 12 weeks. 10 to 12 weeks is the time you can do the ultrasound if you really want to do that. There's no necessary, but if somebody is insisting, after 10 to 12 weeks, you should be able to do it. Not before that. This is one information. The second thing is that everybody knows that the reproductive system starts in the intermediate mesoderm. Okay? Just to recapitulate one more time, because your ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm will never go away. And so this is an important message. In fact, this I was looking at the USMLE exam, the NBME exam we just did last Friday, not this Friday, the previous one, the Friday 14th, I think it was, September 14th. And one of the questions was that the reproductive system coming from which part of the mesoderm? Answer was intermediate mesoderm. So it's a simple information, but it should stay with you forever. Let me recapitulate, or let me orient you one more time. When I do like a baby over here, this outer part is the ectoderm, and when I'm doing like this, the lower part is endoderm. Is that clear? Whatever inside between ectoderm and endoderm is the mesoderm. And I'm referring today is actually the posterior abdominal wall, where we have another system is growing, which is the kidney. So I'll be drawing the same thing again, the pronephros, mesonephros, and metanephros. Only difference would be, I will not emphasize the kidney at all over here. I'll be emphasizing more on the mesonephros, or the middle part. The lower part, if you remember, was the metanephros, was primarily responsible for the kidney, and the kidney ascends and goes towards the suprarenal gland, right? But for the understanding of the reproductive system, we should concentrate on the middle part, or often it is called the mesonephros, the middle part. That's what the drawing I'm going to do it. This is one information. The next one is, because it's in the posterior abdominal wall, then you think about it, there will be the formation of ovary and the testes. Basically, they look like the same at this to start with. Under the influence of a genetic factor, often it is called the testis determining factor. testis is a Y chromosome. Testis determining factor means Y chromosome. If the Y chromosome is present, it will be male on the top of an X. If it is absent, then it is a female. So presence is male, absence is female. So that determines. Then the testis over the time it descends, it slowly comes toward the scrotum. And everybody knows by now, because we need the scrotal temperature a degree less than the abdominal temperature, which is 37, 37.5, 37. These are not advisable to have this spermatozoa to grow. So therefore, the testis has to descend, and descends through what? It is in the posterior abdominal wall, slowly it is coming, and through the inguinal canal. That's the reason the inguinal canal we have, the male I'm talking about. We have both sides because we have two testes on either side, so the inguinal canal is present. So slowly, the inguinal canal will be, will be accommodating the testis which is coming down, and just at birth it will be just dropped into the scrotum. And as a medical doctor, it's very essential for all of you to understand that it is a male baby. Don't hand over the male baby, or what you are thinking that it's a baby, male baby, to the parents. And the parents will love to give a name like Muhammad or something like that, and it turns out to be it is not a male baby. Now, you'll feel very bad. The parents will not tolerate that how come you did not know that, or maybe they may be thinking that the baby is switched. There are many ethical parties there, so don't be in a hurry. Actually, if you are a gynae obstetrics surgeon or consultant, you deliver the baby, then you hand over to the pediatric person, pediatrician. It is his duty actually to check that it is not the ambiguous genitalia. Sometime we'll talk about that next, not today, but the next one, that it is a male or the female type. You may think there is a scrotum, meaning there is a male baby. No, not always like this. So there are many things that you have to do before handover to the parent. So be careful. And one of these things, whether the testis is present over there, feel the testis in the scrotum. If it is not present, then you think that is it a scrotum? I'm dealing with that, because there is a the adrenal hyperplasia, and a female baby may have scrotum-like substance. Labia majora is if the growth is too much, so it looks like a scrotum. The two labia majora join together to form a scrotum. You feel like that way. Or the clitoris is a small thing. It's a equivalent to penile part, will be too much. It looks like it's a penile thing. So a little bit of this scrotum type of feeling, and the penile part is the clitoris basically. Then you hand over the baby as there is a congratulations, the male baby. It's not. Genetically it is XX. So therefore, the embryology is very important. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas that why are you studying today. Okay? So first, a little bit of my drawing. Then it's very important that that you have to realize that some of the abnormalities could be there. Okay. The third point, and then I start drawing. The third point before I say anything. Remember the fact that there is a testis at the ovary. They are formed under the influence of what we call as the testis determining factor, which is basically the X chromosome. At the same time, there will be two tubes will be formed. One for the male, one for the female. But the male is called mesonephric duct. You remember that? Mesonephric duct is forming both for male and female the ureter, and for the male it will be forming the vas deferens. In the female it obliterates, except the ureter. In the female they need the ureter, but the rest of the mesonephric duct will be obliterated. On the other hand, the female will have another tube which is called paramesonephric duct, which will survive. The paramesonephric duct will be, it is present in the male, but it will be obliterated because they have the mesonephric duct. In the female, paramesonephric duct will survive. And the two paramesonephric duct will form the uterus and the upper part of the vagina. It is coming like both ways. You need my drawing. It's coming like this, will join together to form the uterus. So it's very simple. So once you know, to start the ball rolling is that it is what Dr. Paul is talking today is related to the posterior abdominal wall, is basically the intermediate mesoderm and the mesonephros area. You see my drawing. mesonephros area. And there is a genital ridge is there under the influence of the Y chromosome, testis determining factor. Either it could be an ovary or it could be a testis. Fine. Then there are two tubes are formed. One for strictly for the male, one strictly for the female. Mesonephric, paramesonephric. And it obliterates. Other one will obliterate. If it is a female, mesonephric duct will be obliterated. But there could be some remnant will be present. And we target that. What is those called? Like I remember in my residency long time, 100 years back, 100 years back, so we celebrate today. Okay, that I was one time the medical student, the resident, and somebody called me that look at, say what is this? It is a remnant of the mesonephric duct in the female. One more time, remnant of the mesonephric duct in the female. We often call the Gardner's cyst, G-A-R. You will come there. Gardner's cyst was present on the broad ligament of the uterus. So the resident was asking me, do you know what is this? Tell me, I was correct or wrong? This is Dr. Paul, I was correct. I said, this is the Gardner. So you will be exposed to this kind of thing. Okay, let me put it another way. Similarly, all of us, we have uterus. But you cannot be pregnant. We do have uterus. It is called the obliterated portion of the paramesonephric duct in the male. And where it is an interesting thing. I'm coming, I know, this I will tell you all this thing. So there is some little bit part is there, mesonephric, paramesonephric both. To tell you the truth, that at one time we had both. In the male, they will have paramesonephric, mesonephric. The paramesonephric duct will obliterate and mesonephric duct will stay. In the female, they will have male and the female both the duct. That means mesonephric, paramesonephric. Paramesonephric duct will be there, mesonephric will be obliterated. Okay. Now the quick drawing, it's very simple. Now I'm drawing both sides. Remember the posterior abdominal wall. This was my original drawing, posterior abdominal wall. And you should not have any problem of this understanding. And here is the leg, here is the hand. Beautiful drawing. This is the posterior abdominal wall showing you pronephros, mesonephros, metanephros. Is that correct? Okay. So now I remove the pronephros. We don't need it. We don't need it. Remember, it is spanning across the thorax. This diagram is not bad because it's starting from the thorax to the pelvis, intermediate mesoderm. Yeah, the problem is, holding, there is no anchoring thing with me, there's nothing to anchor. It will be difficult for, okay. What I'm saying is, about my drawing, you should hear that, nothing wrong with my drawing. Did you hear that? Okay, that's very important. Well, in this diagram, this is the head, and then you said, why it is so close? When I'm saying it is the posterior abdominal wall. The reason is, the pronephros is actually the thoracic part. It obliterates. There is no posterior abdominal wall over there. So posterior abdominal wall meaning it is only the mesonephros over there. It is the mesonephros over there. Okay, so this part we are drawing. So now I'm trying to draw the one which is important for you is the mesonephros. This one, the middle one. And I'm drawing one side only. The other side you can think about it. Okay? It's not difficult. So what is happening is that at some point there will be little, it's called genital ridge. It is not testis or ovary. Testis and ovary will be formed over there. On both sides. This side also will be also like that. Okay? So this is called genital ridge. What is present? In the mesonephros. The kidney is over here. Remember the kidney? Yeah, it is in the metanephros. So the kidney drawing, let me draw the kidney too, because you will not leave me otherwise. Where is the kidney? Here is the kidney. Ureter. And that ureter is coming from there. So let me draw a male one now. I'm trying to draw the male. Trying to the male. So what happens is there will be trickling of some Y chromosome will be coming over here. Y. Y chromosome means it is the testis. It will form the testis. If it does not come, if the Y chromosome doesn't come over there to the genital ridge, it will be an ovary. But the shape is the same. Where it is formed? In the genital ridge. Genital ridge, I'll write it over here. Genital ridge, R-I-D-G-E, ridge. This is the one protrusion. It becomes, genital ridge becomes a testis or ovary in the absence or presence of Y. Is that clear? This Y chromosome is coming near the allantois area, and it's a trickle down, It comes from there. The originating is near the allantois, if you remember that. Okay. Now, I'm drawing the mesonephric duct in the male. So, I told you that there will be a tube which is forming. Is that clear? So now you understand this tube is a mesonephric duct. It is forming in the male two things. One is the vas deferens. Okay? Another is the ureter. Is that clear? And the way the vas deferens, now you will appreciate, slowly this whole thing will descend, will come down through the inguinal canal. So if I hold it, all of you should see it. I don't know which side I have to go. Yes, now can you see it? If I hold this one and put it down there, can you see that this is coming? Just take this one and put it down over here. That exactly happens when the baby is born. The testis has to be in this scrotum. And it is, the vas deferens is somehow connected to the kidney. Vas deferens is somehow connected to the kidney, isn't it? Because the ureter goes in the the bladder, and the vas deferens is just below the bladder, is connected over there where the prostate is forming. You see the picture over there, but it is connected. The urogenital system, they are connected. This is one way to understand it. This is, I'm holding it. This is the testis. It is a genital system, but it is connected to the urinary system. How? Because this duct is also forming the ureter. So when I hold it and put it down over here, here is the testis coming over there, and the picture will be now, it is divided into two parts. One is going towards the kidney or the bladder system, and one is attached to the, what is called the vas deferens. So this is the vas deferens I'm drawing, vas deferens. And this is the ureter. Clear picture? Everybody is clear? Any problem? No problem. Yes?
So you said the Y chromosome trickles down.
Trickles down to the genital ridge area.
Don't all cells in the Y chromosome inside?
The Y chromosome is coming from outside. Okay? So this place is already having X. So when the Y chromosome comes, then you know it will be a male baby. Okay? If it does not come, then the X chromosome takes the upper hand, and then you have 2X, so it is a female baby. I'm coming to this better picture later. Yes.
So the mesonephric duct, it goes on to connect to the kidney, or is
Yeah,
there
you did it already
a
earlier.
duct?
That this is the connected. This is the ureter. What is this one?
The kidney?
Ureter. Kidney is attached to the ureter. What is the ureter? Ureter is the mesonephric duct.
So it's
Mesonephric
exclusively
duct.
from the mesonephric.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, over the time, this thing will not stay over here. Both ovary and the testes will go down. And I'll tell you the story why you do not see the ovary over here. Ovary is stuck somewhere. And this is the story coming up. Just give me a little time. This part is clear, everybody? Okay. I'm just saying, what you see over here, either in terms of the ovary or the testes, both will be descending. Both will be descending. Both will be descending. Okay, but only thing is the ovary cannot descend too much for a reason which I'm going to tell you. Now, in the female now I'm doing. Look at my drawing now for the female. Now, female, this thing obliterates, yes or no? This thing obliterates. There is no such thing over here. This up to this, there is nothing. On the other hand, the female, they have another thing is coming which is called the paramesonephric duct. So I'm drawing the female now. Over here, something is coming in the female, both sides. Now I'm taking it slightly over there. So this tube is coming like this, another tube is coming like this. You understand now how the uterus is formed? Uterus is basically formed because of the joining of these two T. One from here, exactly same. It's coming like this way, joined in the middle. So this uterus, if you put it over here, my diagram, it will be like this. But mesonephric duct is obliterated. So uterus and the upper part of the vagina, I did not draw the full vagina, only upper part is coming from the paramesonephric duct. Mesonephric duct in the female obliterated. But what is remaining over there is the paramesonephric duct with joints in the middle to form. So now I'm drawing now this. So you can understand what is happening. What is the name of this then? Fallopian tube. So if I ask in the exam, the origin of the fallopian tube, you will say paramesonephric duct in the female. Idiot. Very easy. Now, the important part, and that's another question people will ask. This is the USMLE standard, our standard too, and I love that. Meaning, what does it mean? Translate into some question in the, this is my favorite question. Why does the ovary cannot come down just like the testes to the external genitalia of the female? Why do you don't see the ovary coming through the inguinal canal and go over there? Its mechanism is the same. No, I know the answer, probably you know. The reason is very simple. The reason is because of this formation of the uterus. In the male, there is no uterus. So this actually prevents. So let me draw that. If you think about the ovary was over here, same the red color is the ovary or the testis. So the ovary was over here. Then it is coming down through some ligament we call gubernaculum. This ligament is called gubernaculum, which for the male and the female both is there. It is pulling the string. And this one is attached to labia majora. This is the way it. So absence of uterus, then the whole thing will be over here. One more time. In the absence of uterus, if the uterus doesn't form, then you will see the ovary over here. Why? Because this pulling mechanism for the male and the female are the same. It's pulling. Because of the gubernaculum, testis is freely moving, there is no uterus, it just goes into the scrotum. For the female, equivalent to the scrotum is called labia majora. It's just like my drawing. This part is called labia majora. You want to know more? It's called this side, this side. And that's the vaginal opening. So this side, if it is growing too much, as I say, that it will look like a scrotum. But why it is not coming? Because of the uterus. So therefore, if you have done already the gross anatomy, which I'm sure there is a distinct name of the gubernaculum over here. From ovary to this uterus is called the ovarian ligament. From uterus to labia majora, which goes to the inguinal canal, this is the inguinal canal, round ligament of the uterus. Very good. There is my student, yes. That is the question people ask. What is the origin of the round? It is basically gubernaculum ovary. Not testis, gubernaculum ovary. It's the same thing. But it is why the ovary is not coming over here? because of the uterus. So from the ovary to the uterus, same gubernaculum is called the ovarian ligament. It is a connective tissue. Is that okay? From here, it is called the round ligament of the uterus. So round ligament of the uterus is from the uterus to the labia majora. But if you take the uterus out, then this ovary will be over here. It's not a rocket science I'm talking. You need this diagram, otherwise you will never understand it. Now you are ready for my PowerPoint, okay? And I have spent half an hour. Let's see my exactly half an hour. Just pay attention to my. Don't talk. We will not be keeping you, because now everything is clear to you, one by one slide, and that will be pretty good for you in terms of understanding what are the things going on. I'll just give you my first slide. Is usually I always tell you at the outset, we'll consider only the reproductive system, the internal one today, male and female, then the external one will be next time. But this is my favorite slide. You know that all the questions are based on over here, clinical embryology. Why are we studying? Because there are some problems associated with the development of the reproductive system. Start with this one, undescended testes. I told you already why there could be undescended testes, because the gubernaculum is not, coming down, not forcing it, and it is stuck in the inguinal canal maybe. But there are two issues that, handing over the baby as a male or a female, and on the second issue is if the testis is stuck in the inguinal canal for a long period of time, that testis will be non-functional. The person will be sterile, and the person will not leave you. He said that, doctor, it's a simple operation. You just pull the testis from abdomen to the scrotum. Why you could not do it?
That's difference.
If somebody who is sterile will jump onto your head, I can tell you that because of your ignorance, you don't know. But this is a simple operation to bring the ovary or the testis right on time to the proper place, which is the scrotum. So this is one situation can arise. Double uterus. You can understand that the two tubes are coming. If there is a line, if you think about there, one is coming and joining together. If there is a line in between, then it's a double uterus.
So double ovary?
Sorry?
Big mouth.
The ovary is always double. That's not a problem. Each one is that the ovary is there. I'm not talking the ovary. I'm talking the paramesonephric duct. Let me draw it over here. Yes, it's going to be functional, yes, but very difficult actually. It's functional, but abortion is very common. So when a lady, these are the reasons. So you have to know the detailing of this. If a lady comes to your clinic and saying that I have a habitual abortion, which is going on regularly, you have to see whether this woman has a double uterus, because there's a partition is there which is not allowing the baby to grow. Double uterus has a problem. Okay, so let's do the second one. Third one, female pseudohermaphroditism. I will deal with that next class. This is actually telling you a female baby is genetically is an XX baby, is a female baby, but the external genitalia looks like a male. And I gave you the example, and most of the time it is associated with the adrenal cortex, which is called the adrenal hyperplasia. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia, where the testosterone level is very high, and you can see that the problem is associated with this. Gardner cyst, as I already told you, Gardner cyst is a situation, I'll show you the later, the picture, where the persistence of mesonephric duct in the female. And it is present in the broad ligament, along the broad ligament. And you can see that, and if it is a cystic formation, we call Gardner cyst. Remnants of paramesonephric, Mullerian and mesonephric ducts in male and female, you have to remember that. Bicornuate uterus is basically the double uterus, but one side looks like a ear, more protruded one. It can also congenital inguinal hernia, that also is associated with this. Everybody knows that congenital inguinal hernia, the indirect hernia, is very common in the newly born children. And I was looking at the statistics, 5%. 5% of all the babies, 100 babies are born, 5 little kids may have the inguinal hernia. And you should know why. The inguinal hernia is there because of the persistence of the processus vaginalis. That is the one peritoneal membrane which should block it. The peritoneal membrane, if it does not block, that's called processus vaginalis. And then you have an inguinal hernia. Have you done that already? Indirect inguinal hernia. Indirect inguinal hernia is very common in the children, in the young, when the baby is born. And that is entirely due to the persistence of the processus vaginalis. Please remember that. Persistence of the, what is that? It is a peritoneal folding which usually blocks the inguinal canal. If it does not block, then the intestine can go directly to the scrotum. Very good. This is also very important to understand the fact that hypospadias and epispadia. Now, everybody knows, the male, that the urethra is right at the tip of the penile part. The penis we have, that is the tip is the urethra. But the urethra is below that, way before, below or up. Below is called hypospadia, and up is the epispadia. We'll discuss that. I'll discuss that more in the external genitalia next class, not today. But get the term very easy for you to get the term at least acquainted for you, which is called hypospadia. Hypo means below the penile. This is the penile part. And then below that, if the opening is below, it's called hypospadias. If the opening part is above, and why does it happen? That's called epispadias. Okay, so the terminology should be very clear to you. Now let's do very quickly. It will not take more than 10 minutes. I can assure you. If you just quickly go through that. Embryologically, both urinary genital systems are associated. Both come from intermediate mesoderm, appear around 4th week. Complete around 10th week. I told you between 10, 11, 12. That's the time you should do the ultrasound to understand the external genitalia for male and female. This is actually telling you the same thing. That is the pronephros. You can see pronephros, mesonephros, metanephros. This is the prior knowledge that you should have. Basically, the posterior abdominal wall where the genital things are coming up. Development of the gonads and derivatives of the mesonephric, paramesonephric duct. Gonadal system, formation of testes and the ovary, intermediate mesoderm, genital ridge, often it is called the primordial germ cells, appearance of testis determining factor TDF with the genital ridge leading to the male embryo or testis. In the absence of TDF, female or ovary. It's clear now? Say yes?
Yes.
How about the students say yes? Not loud enough, but do by yourself. Gubernaculum is the connective tissue which pulls the ovary or the testes to their required place. Okay? And the descent of testes or ovary. Remember the fact, both testes and ovary, they descend. Only thing is that ovary cannot come to the labia majora or the external genitalia because of the formation of the uterus in the female. Yes?
Where does gubernaculum attach to the male?
It is actually near the genital ridge, all around genital ridge is there. Because that is the connective tissue. Just like a kite, you need a little string to bring the kite towards you. It is almost like that. But where it is attached is around the, not particular area. It's around the genital ridge where the swelling is there. Now, very quickly go through that. This is showing you. This is the the corner section. You can see the entire. This is the endoderm we are talking about. This side is the ectoderm. In the middle is the mesoderm, and over here is the important area, the mesonephric mesonephros. This is the mesonephros. Here is the genital ridge. You can understand the genital ridge. While the kidney, the temporary kidney is forming, it also forms the genital ridge. Not difficult to understand that. Okay, this is I like this picture. It's very good. This is the trickling down. You can the X chromosome. Sorry, the Y chromosome is slowly going over there. But this is very important on both sides. It's showing you that what is happening over here. The gonad is forming in the genital ridge, and you have the two ducts over here. One is paramesonephric duct, one mesonephric duct. So this is the mesonephric duct. It's going all the way, and the paramesonephric duct over here. it forms both in the male and the female, but slowly over the time, one of them will be degenerating. Remember the fact. Now here is showing you exactly the same thing. So if anybody asks what you are looking at, you are looking at the mesonephros, where the kidney is there, just like my diagram, and there is a little protrusion which is called genital ridge, where the Y chromosome, this is the Y chromosome, is slowly going into that to form a male baby. Okay? You have also paramesonephric duct and the mesonephric duct, not shown over here. Mesonephric duct over here. Yeah, sorry. It's shown over here too. This one. Mesonephric duct and the both are forming. Now this is mesonephric duct, the paramesonephric duct is exactly the same thing. Both are forming over there. And this is showing you how the male baby is formed and female baby is formed. You have done it already. Just take a look quickly. You can take a look quickly too. This is showing you again the testes with the mesonephric, paramesonephric duct. Just read by yourself. It's not difficult at all. This one I want to spend a little time over here. Now you can see very distinctly the mesonephric duct and the paramesonephric. The red one is the paramesonephric duct. Okay? If you, for example, this is testis, meaning that this is the male baby, so you should not expect paramesonephric duct to last for a longer time, and therefore you can see paramesonephric duct is obliterating. Where it is a little bit still there, that should be the uterus for the male. Yes or no?
Yes.
And actually, we all have a little uterus near the prostate or prostatic utricle. We'll come to that next time. Prostatic utricle is the paramesonephric duct, meaning it is the male uterus. I like that question too. What is the male uterus? Prostatic utricle. That's the remnant of the paramesonephric duct in the male. In the female, you can see the paramesonephric duct is very obvious, and that will form the uterus. So, genital ducts in the male, you can see that now the uterus, the testis is slowly coming down because over there. Now it is coming down. And the picture is over there. So here it has come down. And then mesonephric duct, so this is the male baby. Remember the fact that the testis was over here, but over the time it fell down. Just like my diagram, I told you, hold the testis, don't squeeze too much, just hold it and bring it down. Like hold it down. That is my picture, and that is the picture over here. Now the testis is inside the scrotum, and what is remnant over there is the ureter. Now make sense? All of you? Is okay? And I told you the genitourinary system is connected, so you can understand that where it is connected, where the spermatozoa or everything is actually going to the urinary system. You people don't know yet, but take it from me from an experienced person. I can tell you that the spermatozoa comes through the urethra. Urethra is urinary system. You are not saying anything, yes or no. But you are not experienced yet, I'm just telling you that fact. The spermatozoa does come in the urethra. Urethra is a urinary system. So how it is connected, you can understand now how it is connected. You can see this is the vas deferens is going, so spermatozoa is going to the urinary system. That's the bladder and everything. Now, if I say bladder is coming from where? Ectoderm, mesoderm, or endoderm? Endoderm. What is that called? The endoderm? Urogenital sinus. So remember the fact, I'm not drawing it over here, but because of the lack of time, but this was the old story. I just recapitulate, if you are present in my lecture last time, that there is this place called cloaca, like a balloon, with an anterior and posterior, correct? The posterior one is attached to the endoderm of the hindgut. Anterior one is also the endoderm, but is forming the external genitalia and the bladder. So if I ask you, prostate is coming from where? From the urogenital sinus. Bladder, yeah, in the endoderm, that's correct. Endoderm or the urogenital sinus. If I say vagina is coming from where? Endoderm or urogenital sinus. That I'll describe next time more in detail. Okay? So how the external genitalia is formed. Most of the external genitalia is coming from the urogenital sinus. What is the urogenital sinus? It is the anterior part of the cloaca. This bladder, you see it, anterior part of the ureter. The posterior part, you don't see it over here. The posterior part is forming the rectum. It will be also yellow color. Yellow means endoderm. Yellow means endoderm. Okay. Good. So these are the things. Descent of the testes. You can see the testes is finally over here. This is just photograph. No need of explanation. And the testicle descends at the level of internal inguinal ring, by which time, during 6, 9 months. So close to 9 months, you can see that it is near the inguinal canal and the neck drop. Now here it is showing you the urogenital sinus for the male. Can you see it? And it's very interesting over here that this is the vast difference. Basically, it should be connected to the testis. This is the ureter is also forming from the same source and is connected to the urinary system, and that is the urogenital sinus. The urogenital sinus, and here is the prostate is forming. The prostate is formed from the urogenital sinus or endoderm. Urethra is coming from the endoderm. Bladder is coming from the endoderm. So this is the story of the urogenital sinus. It has another story, posterior part, which is the rectum canal, which is also coming from the posterior part of the cloaca. This is the anterior part of the cloaca. So, which of the following structures develop from the urogenital sinus? Very quick.
Prostate.
Prostate. Immediately you could understand what is happening. Okay? Going to dash to the female. Now I'm doing the female's one. You can see the female. Now here is the ovary, which is not going down. Okay, because it is attached to the uterus. So from here to here, it will be the ovarian ligament. And from here to here, which will come down, is the round ligament of the uterus. In my diagram, I put the ovary over here. This is more correct embryologically. My drawing is in the adult, actually. I put it in the adult. But you see the ovarian ligament not over here, but over here. With the ovary has gone down quite a bit. But this is embryologically it is correct, this figure. So ovary to uterus, ovarian ligament. After the ovarian ligament, it is the down ligament of the uterus. So the formation of the female reproductive system, again the paramezonefric duct. You can see the paramezonefric duct from both sides. Here is the septum. If the septum is there, then double uterus. Is that clear? Now it's very easy for you to understand how the upper part of the vagina, not the lower part. Lower part of the vagina comes from the yellow line, the urogenital sinus. Only the upper part of the paramezonefric, right? Upper part with the same color, the cervix of the uterus, the body of the uterus, the fundus of the uterus, the fallopian tube, they are all coming from the paramezonefric duct. Just abnormal uterus, you can see the bicornuate, I was talking about the cornu and double uterus, all the different varieties are given to you, and you should not have any problem. Now, towards the 1 or 2 slides, then we are okay, done. Now remember, this is a female, and therefore this is the ovary, and this is the paramezonefric duct, what is the color? Blue color, paramezonefric fallopian tube, etc. And other things are obliterated over here. Okay? Now the important part over here, again telling you that, that the urinary bladder is connected to the reproductive system. So make no mistake about that. So what is an ovarian ligament? From the ovary to the uterus, it is the gubernaculum ovary. What is the round ligament? It is a gubernaculum ligament coming from the uterus to the labia majora. Very good. What prevents ovary to descend to labia majora? Uterus. What is the content of the inguinal canal in female? Round ligament. Yes, yeah, because instead of the ovary, you have the round ligament of the uterus. That's exactly showing over here. You can understand one more time. Here is the ovary, ovarian ligament. You can see ovarian ligament. And from the uterus, it is coming to the labia majora, and that is called this thing. Okay? Now, what is the Gardner's cyst? I indicated that part also over here. This is this one, which is the mesonephric duct. It should be obliterated. Mesonephric duct should be obliterated in the female. But if you see near the broad ligament, a little bit is still there, and it becomes cystic. It is called Gardner's cyst. You can find this cyst. Nothing. This is not pathological. Nothing happens over there. But if you want to take the uterus out, sometimes you call hysterectomy. Hysterectomy. You can see that all of a sudden little cyst is there. This is nothing wrong. This is the persistence of the mesonephric duct in the female, and this is showing you. This dotted line is the mesonephric duct, which is obliterated. 90% is gone, but if little bit 10% is still there, it forms the Gardner's cyst. I don't think I have anything else. This is just to show you, tell you again, what is the mesonephric duct. One of the things coming up. Make sure that you remember this fact. Yes, quick. Oh, the cyst is the swelling where the fluid is there. Like duct is a hollow organ. But if it is not hollow, some fluid is present in one point, it will be a swelling. That cyst means always swelling. Swelling of the fluid. And that's okay. This is my last slide. Thank you very much. I think you have appreciated it.